我是毛德华，今天是正月初五，我们来读一下这本书。走，叔本华呢，他对哲学史呢有一个一般的一篇论述文章，就专门讲哲学史的，收录在他的这本叫《Short Philosophical Essays》里面，叫做《附录与遗补》的这本，这有上下卷的。第一卷里面有一部分叫做 Fragments for the History of Philosophy， 在这里面呢收录了他写了一个很简短的哲学史，但是呢也不是很短，这个有将近80多页，84页篇幅。然后在里面他提到了很多哲学家，他其实从前苏格拉底，经过苏格拉底、柏拉图、亚里士多德、Hellenistic 就叫斯多亚什么之类的，最后到他的当代，就他的哲学，这个叫 History of Philosophy 是以讲他自己哲学为终点的。然后呢里面讲很多人，我们今天只读中间他讲 Socrates 苏格拉底那一部分，其他部分我们看有时间再读，因为今天就可能时间有限。31页我看一下，他一开始是一个 About such a history 一个简述，然后是 Pre-Socratic philosophy 前苏格拉底哲学，然后是苏格拉底前苏格拉底有点长，是苏格拉底，然后苏格拉底后面是柏拉图后面是亚里士多德，反正最后的结尾是他自己的哲学不管他了，我们今天只读一下苏格拉底这一部分，因为这部分比较短。The wisdom of Socrates is a philosophical article phase. It is clear that Plato's Socrates is an ideal or poetical figure that expresses Platonic thoughts. On the other hand, there's not exactly much wisdom to be found in Xenophon's Socrates. According to Lucia, Socrates had a fat belly, which is not exactly a mark of genius. Yet the same doubt in regard to high intellectual faculties applies to all those who did not write. Thus also to Pythagoras. For a great mind must gradually recognize its vocation and position in regard to humanity, and consequently become conscious that it does not belong to the herd but to the shepherds. It means to the educators of humankind, this will clarify for it the duty not to limit its immediate and assured influence to the few whom chance brings close to it, but to extend it to humanity in order to be able to reach among its exceptions, the superior and hence real individuals. However, the organ by means of which one speaks to humanity is solely writing. Verbally, one speaks only to a number of individuals, so that what is said is that we remains a private matter in relation to humankind. For such individuals are mostly a poor soil for a noble seed, in which it either does not strive at all or quickly degenerates in its products. Thus the seed itself must be preserved. Yet this does not happen through tradition, which is adulterated at every step, but through writing alone. This is all faithful preserver of thoughts. Moreover, every profound thinker necessarily has the impulse for his own satisfaction to record his thoughts and bring them to the greatest possible clarity and distinctness, and consequently to embody them in words. This, however, happens completely only through writing, for the written delivery is essentially a different one from the oral one, since it allows for the highest precision, conciseness, and exact brevity, thus becoming the pure archetype of thought. As a result of all this, it would be a strange presupposition in a thinker to want to leave unused the most important inventions of humankind. Accordingly, it is hard for me to believe in the truly great intellect of those who have not written. Rather, I am inclined to regard them as mainly practical heroes, who effected more through their character than through their brain. The sublime orders of the Upanishads of the Vedas did write. However, the Samhita of the Vedas, consisting of mere prayers, may have been propagated only orally in the beginning. Quite a few similarities can be detected between Socrates and Kant. Both reject all dogmatism. Both profess a complete ignorance in matters of metaphysics and place their characteristic feature in the clear consciousness of this ignorance. Both maintain that in contrast, the practical, that which human beings ought and ought not to do, is completely certain, and is so by itself without further theoretical justification. Both share the faith that, nevertheless, their immediate successors and declared disciples deviated from them in respect to those foundations, and in their work on metaphysics, established completely dogmatic systems. Furthermore, that these systems turned out utterly different, but yet all agreed in maintaining that they had studied from the doctrine of Socrates or Kant, respectively. Since I am myself a Kantian, I wish to say a word here to characterize my relation to him. Kant teaches that we cannot know anything beyond experience and its possibility. I concede this, but maintain that experience itself, in its totality, is capable of an explanation. And I've attempted to provide this by deciphering experiments like a written text, but not like our previous philosophers by undertaking to go beyond it by means of its mere forms, which Kant indeed had demonstrated to be inadmissible. The advantage of the Socratic method, as we come to know it from Plato, consists in having the ground for the propositions that we intend to demonstrate be admitted by the collector or opponent one at a time, before he has surveyed their consequences. For with a didactic, continuously delivered speech, he would have the opportunity to immediately recognize consequences and grounds as such, and would attack the latter if he did not like the former. Meanwhile, among the things that Plato wants us to believe in is this, that by means of this method, the sophists and other fools, with utter patience, let Socrates show them that this is what they are. That is inconceivable. On the contrary, at about the last quarter of the way, or at any rate as soon as they realized, well, this was supposed to lead, they would have spoiled Socrates' artificially constructed game for him, the torn him net, by digressing or denying that what had been said before, or intentionally misunderstanding, and by whatever else obstinate dishonesty intrinsically applies as its tricks and the tricanaries, or they would have become so rude and insulting that he would have found it advisable to save his skin in good time. For how could the Sophists not also have known the means by which anyone can make himself equal to anyone else, and instantly level the greatest intellectual inequality, namely in thought? Base nature therefore feels, even instinctively, an invitation to use the latter as soon as it starts to sense intellectual superiority.